Okay. Beta. I'm gonna show y'all boys where I'm from, man. I'm from that I'm back to back. Big boss K poke through the door to talk about your boy. Look, I ain't gotta go to work till 4 o'clock. So I'm dropping content. Peep game. Your boy looking rough. I need a haircut, man. But so look. This Shakur Stevenson, he needs to stop this cap, bro. And hear me out. And this the reason why I be having to debunk. This is the reason why I started my channel, because I be having to debunk narratives. So I told y'all there's some things Shakur Stevenson said in his, video with Say Cheese that, I was like, it's truthful. But there was a lot of things that was capped. Mainly the Frank Martin situation. He said Frank Martin became a star off of pulling out a fight for him, which is cap. Frank Martin got a better resume than you do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just gotta be honest. Like who you fought. The only person you fought on your resume is Oscar Valdez. And even with him, you could be like, was he really? You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's the best person you fought on your resume is Oscar Valdez. Now, another thing I want to talk about is he started really like going in on Tank. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to make a couple of videos off this interview, right? So y'all buckle up. It's going to be like a series. It ain't finna be like one or two. Like, I'm really finna pick apart everything he said in his interview. And you know me, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I told you, there's some things he said that I was like, okay, like, I agree with that. But there's a lot of things I was like, I don't know about that, cause like, I don't know if that's a truthful statement. You see what I'm saying? So, he brought up this statement about Tank. And he said that Tank has never really took any risk in his career. So let's analyze that. Okay. Tank fought Pedraza at what, 130? I was at 130 for the IBF belt, right? Pedraza at the time was undefeated in his prime. And Tank he wasn't in his prime. He was ascending. He was trying to make a name for himself. And he made lunch meet up Pedraza. Knocked him out. Tank fought Mario Barrios, who's a 6-foot fighter that was at 140 pounds. That is currently, since he's moved to welterweight, has one loss. Since he's moved to welterweight. I'm not talking about since he fought Tank. Since he's moved to welterweight, has one loss. That's to Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman didn't stop him. But who's the only person that stopped Mario Barrios? Tank Davis. Cool damn sure wasn't getting no ring with no Mario Barrios. So what are we talking about? Where does he not take risk at? The question is, Cool, when did you take a risk? What risk did you take? That's the question, right? Even when Devin Haney offered you that 25%, you didn't take it. So when did you take a risk? When did you bet on yourself? Right? These are stuff I'm talking about. Cool want to have all these stipulations for other people, but he won't follow stipulations for himself, which he said in the interview. He said Tank has all these stipulations and stuff for other people, and he want to handpick and pick around and choose people, but he ain't picking the right people. But don't you do the same thing? Then he sat there and said, oh, Tank choosing Frank Martin, right? A fighter that, I was supposed to fight, but Frank Martin ducked me so he could fight Tank. If I'm not mistaken, that's a more dangerous fight for Tank, isn't it? I mean, for Frank. See, Frank Martin didn't duck you. Y'all tried to lowball him, and then you got mad about it because y'all lowballed him and he didn't take your offer. So because he didn't take your offer, you got upset. Start crying on social media. Then you sat there called Frank out his name, but Lomachenko actively ducked you. He just told you straight up, I'm not fighting you. And fought Kambosos. You ain't talking about you ain't talking about Lomachenko like that. This what I be talking about between him and Bud. When it come to black fighters, they don't say nothing bad about them. I mean, my bad. Let me rephrase that. When it come to black fighters, they dog them, cuss them out, all that. When it come to white fighters, European fighters, anything, the fighter duck them, they ain't got nothing to say. It's all, well, it's the nature of the business. It's the nature of the business when a white fighter duck you, but when a black fighter duck you, he a B word and all this other stuff. So I'm not trying to hear nothing from Shakur or anybody that roll with him talking about black unity, because y'all ain't showing no black unity when it comes to black fighters. See, when it came to you and Devin, when Devin offered you the money, he offered you, oh man, I'm worth more than that. When it came down to Frank, oh, you need to take risks. You need to take that. No. So I'm not trying to hear nothing about no risk. That eliminates that whole argument of him saying that. Right? You ain't took no risk in your career. We just got to keep it 1,000. You ain't fought no elite fighters either. Like I said in the last video, I will agree. Tank has not fought any elite fighter, but he's fought better fighters than you have. And then the one fighter that you fought that was very good, you didn't want to engage with him. You ran the whole night. You didn't box. You ran the whole night. You didn't want to engage. You didn't want to do anything. You didn't want to fight. And that's why I'm telling you, there are certain things in Shakur Stevenson's game that he don't have. He don't have power, and he can't fight on the inside. And he can't take power. Pause. No diddy. When you at the elite status, you got to be a chameleon in there. You got to, it's a video I posted on my Instagram, Andre Ward, when Stack asked him, hey, what type of fighter style are you? He said, he said, I don't have a fighter style. I am whatever I need to be to get my hand raised. Which means if I got to be a dog and I got to fight on the inside and I got to slug it out with you, that's what I got to do. If I got to box you, that's what I got to do. I'm whatever I need to be to get my hand raised. I love it. Shakur fight, he fight one way, and he's a very knowledgeable dude. He got a lot of boxing knowledge, right? He has high IQ, but sometimes the things he say, I question it. He'll say something intelligent and then follow up with a stupid statement like he said right there. Like he sat there said, Tank fighting Frank, you know, he need to fight Edwin De Los Santos, and then I'll see what he is. Why would he fight Edwin De Los Santos? Edwin De Los Santos lost to you. Edwin De Los Santos lost to you, right? So why would he fight some dude coming off a loss? What sense does that make? He's fighting an undefeated, crafty, southpaw, strong, elusive fighter in Frank Martin. Why would he fight a dude coming off a loss? The real question is, why didn't you fight Edwin De Los Santos? Why didn't you rematch Edwin De Los Santos? That's the real question. Why didn't you do that? You should have rematched him. You shouldn't be fighting Harutyan. And let me say this. Harutyan is whose former opponent? Frank Martin. You tried to sit there and say Frank Martin struggled with Harutyan. It wasn't. Frank Martin did struggle with Harutyan, but it wasn't nothing Harutyan was doing. It was Frank Martin. Frank Martin was trying to be cute and, you know, because Frank Martin was never hit with nothing crazy or nothing like that. He was trying to be cute, be slick, and, you know, all that, you know. And when Derek James cussed him out, was like, bro, you need to get him out of here. Soon as he cut it up, what happened? Within a round, Harutyan eye closed. He was a cyclops out there. You feel me? So all I'm saying at the end of the day, to keep it 1,000, like, you have to keep it real. You can't sit here and pick and choose when you want to be real. You know, you done got into it with Tank. Y'all done got into it. So I'm gonna try to dog him. I'm gonna talk down on him. You not even on the same level as Tank. I IQ wise, you may be, but your star power not up there, right? We just got to keep it 1,000. And you still got to develop a little more in your game. You look at Tank. Tank can fight multiple ways. He is whatever he needs to be to win a fight, right? Tank can fight you on the inside. Tank can fight you on the outside. Tank can fight you mid-range. Tank can box you. Tank can be slick. He is whatever he needs to be to get his hand raised. Shakur do one thing great, which is measurement. He's a master of distance. I've never seen, and that's one thing I say he do way better than any boxer, is he know where he need to be to get a shot off and when to make you miss and to be able to come back in and counter you. That's one thing I say Shakur does better than any boxer is the distance control. He know how to, he a master at that. I give him his credit. But other than that, you can't, your head movement is not A1. You know what I'm saying? I say, if I had to grade Shakur head movement, B level. Jab, B level. You know what I'm saying? Now, his overall boxing IQ is A+. But when you break stuff down individually, right, you like, feet work, B. You know what I mean? Power, C. You know? Because Shakur got in his mind that fighters are afraid of him. I'm like, why would a fighter be afraid of Shakur Stevenson? What he gonna do? Outbox them to death? That's what he gonna do. When the last time Shakur Stevenson slept somebody? I'm talking about knocked them out cold to where they was laying on the pavement. Since the bubble, when he fought that dude in the bubble, when COVID was around, that was that 2020. Frank is fighting a more dangerous fight. And Tank sleeping people. You see what I'm saying? He putting points down. You forget, Tank made Ryan Garcia quit, liver shot. Tank made that boy Hector Luis Garcia, he couldn't see. That boy turned to Stevie Wonder. Ray Charles. Georgia, he couldn't see. He was like, I can't see. He reaching, I can't see. That man couldn't see, man. Let me tell you something. You know how hard you gotta hit somebody to the point where they can't see? The nigga couldn't see. I can't see. You know what I'm saying? Santa Cruz sent that boy to the gulag. That boy knee was under his, the boy leg was bent like a paper clip under his back. Your leg not even supposed to be like that. Nigga leg was under his back. He was asleep. Woke up smiling. You know how your toddler, you give them a whooping and then they go to sleep and then they wake up and they in a better mood? That's what happened. Tank sparked the boy woke up in a better mood. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep it 1,000, man. We can't be out here playing these little games, bro. Shakur is a hell of a fighter, but he needs to stop capping, bro. And I'm going to say this. Shakur got to focus on his lane. Focus on Shakur. Stop worrying about these other fighters, because that's what happened with Devin Haney. He was worrying about these other fighters. He was too busy pointing and worrying about these other fighters, and next thing you know, you getting sparked. Now you laid out on the ground, you don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? You need to focus on you. The great fighters, Andre Ward, the Andre Wards, the Floyd Mayweathers, you know, they focused on themselves. They focused on their brand. They weren't worrying about no other fighters. If a fighter wanted to fight them and it happened to come across, okay, cool, I'm gonna fight them. And they worried about their opponent. They eat, when they sign that contract, they eat, drink, slept boxing, and all they was worrying about was themselves and their opponent. That was it. They weren't worrying about nothing else. You get what I'm saying? That's how Shakur gotta be. But Shakur be worrying about, he got to fight, but he worrying about what Tank doing, what Frank doing, what Devin Haney doing, what Ryan doing. Like, he worrying about all this other stuff and trying to come off as real. But you know what I see? And I've said this before. I said this before anybody. You can go back and watch my other videos. Shakur is emotional. He's emotional. He's an emotional man. He's very emotional. He don't have no firm foundation. He don't stand on what he mean. He say stuff and then go back on it. Go back and look at everything he said. So all I'm saying at the end of the day, cool, focus on yourself. Focus on your fight. Like your big brother say, focus on your fight, man. Your big brother Terrence Crawford. Focus on your fight. You know what I'm saying? Focus on being great. You're gonna be a great. You're gonna be an all-time great. These fighters, too many fighters are worrying about other fighters. They too busy worrying about what this dude doing, what this dude doing, how this dude doing this, he doing this, that, and the third. Hey, he said this. Who cares, bro? When they asked Floyd, hey, Floyd, what you think about this? I'm not worrying about him. I'm worrying about this. I don't care. That's just real talk. You got to worry about yourself, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got to worry about your brand. Build Shakur up. Build the Shakur brand up. Make Shakur brand into a household name. Look what Boots doing. Boots don't talk about nobody else. Unless they ask him, like, hey, what you think about Crawford? And he don't spend a lot of time on it. He don't spend a lot of time and energy on it. He answers the question and move on. Because Boots is focusing on building Boots. You know what I mean? That's a perfect example. Boots is focused on building Boots Ennis. He not worrying about, oh, yeah, man, he talking about Crawford every day. He tweeting. That nigga ain't worrying about nothing. Boots like, man, I'm doing me. You know, if he want to fight, we can fight. Y'all know what I'm on. You know what I mean? I don't gotta spend too much time talking about it. If he want to fight, we can fight. You know what I mean? I've been calling him out. I've been wanting the top fights. These dudes are avoiding me, but it is what it is, and that's just what it is. And he gonna move like that. Same thing with Errol. Errol, man, Errol was too busy building Errol brand. You know? Errol was too busy building Errol brand, and Errol built himself into be a popular fighter. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. You know? Now, granted, once Errol got the popularity, he wasn't 100% all in on boxing. You know, and that was his downfall. When it came time for him to fight Terrence Crawford, that was his downfall. All that little stuff add up. And that's something I teach my kids. It's the little things. You got to do all the little things right to be great. You get what I mean? Errol Spence reached a certain level, and he was at the pinnacle, and he got beat. Right? Crawford was doing all the little things, right? You know, we just talking about as a fighter, the life as a fighter. Crawford lived in the gym. Errol didn't. You know what I mean? Crawford don't drink, at least to my knowledge. He don't do anything. He lives a fighter lifestyle. He makes sure, you know what I mean? He take off when he need to take off. He rest when he need to rest. He get to it when he need to get to it. But he stay in the gym. He stay around boxing. You know? That's the difference between Errol and Crawford. You know what I mean? Crawford is a guy that's heavily invested in boxing. Errol is too, but Errol go do other stuff. You know what I mean? He don't 100% live the fighter lifestyle, and that's his downfall. He didn't start doing that until it was too late. You know what I mean? Bud been doing this. So, and I'm gonna conclude with this. Andre Ward said this. It's the little things that's gonna make you great. You can't start late. You gotta start young and build a firm foundation. So that's what Shakur gotta do. He gotta worry about himself. Build the Shakur brand up. Stop trying to worry about what Tank's saying and this. Stop doing that, bro. You're a great fighter. Just fight your fight, bro. Because you look crazy when you say certain things about, oh, Tank, if he was real, he'll fight Edward De Los Santos. Why you ain't fight Edward De Los Santos? You should have fought him. Then you trying to condemn Tank, but you fighting Frank Martin leftovers. Frank Martin beat Harunyan and you finna go fight him. What sense does that make? Let me know what y'all think. Boss gone.